What is up, YouTube? Today we're back with another tier list, and this is one of the spiciest ones. We're doing Neutral Air. Nair is one of the best moves across the board for people in the game, and we're going to be going over the tier list of Nairs. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe right now. About half the people that watch these videos aren't subscribed, so I would appreciate subscribing, turn on notifications, ring the bell so you don't miss another tier list. Aight, let's go. What order do I do this in? I never know what order to do this in. Ness's Nair is amazing. This move is so good. It's pretty fast at frame, I believe, 6? Oh, it's frame 5. Okay, I lied. It's frame 5. I thought it was frame 6. It's really safe on shield. It's -4, -5. It's huge. It's a combo ender. It's a kill move. It's an add a shield option on both sides. There's like no flaw to this move. You can also do short hop Nair, double jump. Mithra's Nair, it might be top 10. Mithra's Nair is probably top 10. It is one of those Nairs with a landing hitbox. It is a combo move. It hits both sides. It's ambiguous whether or not you're going to fall on it. Again, you have to make sure that, we're talking about these in a vacuum and not just on the character. So stats would change this a little bit. But then if a character was floatier, then they wouldn't have to always hit the ground, and then they would just be able to Nair dash move, which is really, really good. I might bump this down later, not at a top 10, because there's so many good Nairs in this game, which is why I have a top 10 and not a top 5, because I think top 5 would be impossible. But yeah, Mithra Nair is absolutely fantastic. Literally a neutral defining move, and the neutral defining moves are all really, really good. Pyra's. I think Pyra's Nair is like objectively way worse than Mithra's Nair, unless specifically you are trying to get a kill or you're in disadvantage and someone jumps at you. Like, that's basically the only really good time for Pyra Nair. It lingers, it's a kill move, it's decent for edge trapping and also in disadvantage, but otherwise you're not really going to be using this move. It would be better than some other Nairs in this game, which is why it's still pretty good, but I don't think it's like one of the best Nairs in the game. It's very solid, and it definitely fills a role in Pyra's kit, but I don't know how much that would work on other kits to the point of having it be in the amazing tier. Wario. Wario's Nair is amazing. I'm gonna say it's not top 10. It might be top 10, but I'm gonna put it in amazing for now, the top of amazing. It's a combo move, it's an add a shield move, and it's a decent landing move. The problem with Wario's Nair is if you don't have Wario's airspeed, it's ass. You know, there are certain characters that actually just don't get hit by Nair, because they can just like hold away and they like get a weird turnaround. So sometimes Nair doesn't work. Nair only is super, super, super good at like 0 to 30. Afterwards, it's kind of okay unless you're gonna get like just falling Nair on someone, but there are much better falling Nairs to hit people with. You can parry the second hit, of course, like that's something you can just do. It's still really, really good, but again, the main usefulness of it is at very low percents, not necessarily just all the time, if that makes sense. Ice Climber's Nair is okay. It's nothing special. You can do like landing Nair, dash attack, landing Nair, dash grab as a lot of characters. It is really good on Ice Climbers because there's 2 of them and they can desync and do all this crazy stuff. But again, I look at these in a vacuum. Yeah, Ice Climbers kind of get screwed on a lot of these lists because I'm not considering both Ice Climbers or the desync possibilities for a lot of them. But like on Ice Climbers, it's really good because you can do like landing Nairs into desyncs and into grabs and into all those different things. In a vacuum, it's just a move that hits you away. That's not particularly fast, but you can get like Nair dash grab and Nair dash attack at low percents, and it sets them into tech chases, which isn't the worst, but it's just like overall not as good as other Nairs, basically. In my worst move of every move, I put Isabelle as that one. That's not exactly true. I was wrong, and I'm sorry for that. It's not a great Nair, but it's not the worst Nair in the game other than Little Max. Which, by the way, I'm just gonna, really quickly, it's Little Mac Nair. I'm not gonna, it's fine. Every Nair is basically good. Isabelle's Nair is very fast. It's an add a shield option. You can do Nair into grab, Nair into jab, Nair into ground moves, basically. It's like not the fastest, it's frame 5, but it is -2, -3, which is kind of insane. I was wrong. It was fiction. I made it up. And I'm sorry about that, Isabelle players. Y'all got very mad at me. I was very wrong, and I apologize for that. It's still bottom 5, but there's a big jump up from bottom 2 to the rest of them. The other bad Nair, just to get it out of the way, is Olimar. This is what I should have put as the worst Nair in the game that wasn't Little Max, because Olimar isn't a combo move. I mean, you can land Nair and then get like up tilt, but again, there's better landing Nairs for that. It's really small. It's not really it's not like disjointed as far as I'm aware. Could totally be wrong about that. Yeah, it's tiny. It's not good. It's also slow. It's also not safe. These are the only 2 bad Nairs in the game, I think. I think the rest of them are very passable. Link. Where's Link? Luigi. Link. Link's in top 10. It's the best Nair I've talked about so far. I don't think that this is the best Linger Nair in the game. It's the second best one. It's really ridiculous. At low percents, combos into grab. It's a jab lock. It can combo into things like grab and down tilt. It can combo into jabs. It can combo into so much, and it's neutral defining. Link's stats are incredible, so you can go full hop nair, fast fall, and because his fast fall is so fast, it's basically always going to be safe. It's an incredible move. You can do like the Z drop nair stuff on Link, but again, other characters would have random nair combos. They would have pretty decent get out of jail options, but again, if you're floatier, not quite as fast folly as Link, you don't want Link Nair because you're just going to like Nair and then fast fall and it's still gonna be -7 or 8, which is a lot worse than -2 to 4. And also, you're not just gonna be able to zoom onto people with a Nair and they're not gonna be able to anti-air you. If you're floaty, they will be able to anti-air you, which isn't as good, in my opinion, in a vacuum, but again, on Link, it's ridiculous. Captain Falcon. I think Falcon Nair is really, really stupid. It's a combo move in a bunch of different ways. You can do landing nair 1 when people are on the ground and get jump aerial. A lot of people would be able to do that. Like, in my opinion, it's just like one of the best landing nair combo starters in the game, especially because it pops you up. So you get like, if you have a kill aerial, you get nair up aired or nair back aired or nair whatever. Falcon gets nair knee or nair up air knee, and that can start at low percents. If you air to air with it and only get hit 1, you can do landing nair into up air anyway, as most characters, or up tilt or stuff like that. It has the double hit. It's a kill move. It's a good edge guarding tool. It's a good get off me tool. It's not like the fastest nair, so it's not like a combo breaker, but like you have to respect the nair. Yeah, it's frame 7, but it's also -4. Like, it's very safe. So it's a very safe kill confirm combo starter, which is incredible. Like, that's such a good thing to do. And of course, a move like that means that it would open up empty jumps for most characters. Obviously, that's really good on Falcon because Falcon's grab is really good, but most characters want a good empty jump tool. So yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's incredible. Inkling Nair. It's nothing special. The problem with Inkling Nair is it's really small, so it's very difficult to use as an added shield option. Damn, it's -2? That's kind of crazy, but it's also tiny. It's not very usable. It wouldn't be very usable for most characters because it's frame 6, so it's not I mean, it's slower than Ness's, right? And Ness's is huge and a kill move, and Inkling's is like a combo move between 30 and 70, and it's very specific. Like, that's the problem, is it's very, very specific. If a character doesn't have the ridiculous air speed of Inkling, you're not even gonna get like those Nair Bear combos or those Nair Fair combos that Inkling's Nair can get. It's just unfortunately too niche for it to be higher. Byleth's Nair is also top 10. I think Byleth's Nair is better than Mithra's Nair. Byleth's Nair has a lot of interesting caveats to it because obviously you do have the same stuff with Mithra of like, oh, you have a landing hitbox versus a not landing hitbox, but it's 1 frame safer, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong about that. It combos into a lot of things. It would combo into a lot of things for many characters. Byleth is super slow, but you would still probably get like mix-ups on other characters, or you can get just like the full Nair final hit, then get like a forward air or something like that. It's a combo move in many ways. Maybe it's, you know, in a vacuum, it's worse than Mithra's. They don't have the giant dash attack that Byleth has, or the giant forward air that Byleth has, or the, you know, offstage kill moves that Byleth has that work there. It's useful enough with like auto cancels and IDJs with different fall speeds that like it would still be fine. If Fox had this Nair, he would do Nair weak dash attack up smash like all the time. It's a really good Nair. I think the Wii Fit's Nair is pretty good. It's a really good combo move. It combos into itself multiple times. It combos into up airs. First hit can lead into spikes or back airs or forward smash on certain characters that have like a high forward smash. Basically, the only thing that's not good about Wii Fit Trainer Nair is it's small, but mostly the fact that it's just not as good as the other Nairs. Like, it's more so like this is a really good Nair. It's also decently safe. It's a little slow, but that's fine for what it is. But it's mostly the fact that there are just many better Nairs. Like, it's an amazing Nair. There are just so many better ones that are more universally usable. Mii Sword Fighter has a good Nair. It's a bit slow, which isn't super good. It is -5, which is decent. It does put into tech chases sometimes. It's basically just a Nair that they wanted to make like Ike Nair and then didn't because it would be broken with the character with this up air. You don't really see a lot of, you know, Mii Sword Fighters use this move. You see forward air and back air and up air and down air, but you don't really see Nair because it's not as good. Mewtwo's Nair is basically Byleth Nair, but without the landing hitbox, but the final hitbox is the landing hitbox. works, but it just doesn't have the timing mix up. The drag down on it is amazing. You can get Nair grabs, Nair tilts, Nair jabs. A lot of characters can get dash attack or an aerial if they're fast enough. It is the worst version of this type of Nair, unfortunately, because someone else got their Nair changed to be similar to Mewtwo's Nair. But yeah, it's really good. It's like not super fast and it's not super safe, which is kind of unfortunate. Was Mewtwo's Nair better in 4? Infinitely. Rosal's Nair, that move is so good. It is a lingering move that combos wherever you hit it into like anything. By far, Rosa's best move on her kit. It's not even close. They fixed this move really, really well. It's incredible. It is a little slow, but it is also safe. Who cares? I mean, it makes sense how good it is, but like, wow, is it good? It's an anti-air. It's a great landing hitbox that you can kind of drift away with. It's just so good. It's just amazing. There's like almost no flaw to this move. Even on a fast faller it would be good, because then you would have like short hop Nair pressure. Like that'd be crazy. Sora's Nair. Sora's Nair is a top 10 Nair in the game. It automatically combos fast fallers. It is one of the safest Nairs in the game. You get automatic pressure. Landing Nair combos into up air, combos into most up airs, combos into forward smashes, combos into dash attacks, combos into ground moves. Like there are very few characters that wouldn't want this Nair. Didn't I say the bouncing stuff was kind of fake? Yeah, as someone that has a broken out of shield option, and I've realized that. Like, if you don't have something like a Pika up air or like a Corrin up air, it's fake, but then at the same time, if they land with it and you expect them to bounce, then you swung an aerial above them and then they hit you for it. Nair F smash works on Sora, even if you get the reverse hit, and that would work for most characters. You get so much. You get so much. Hell, if you were a fast faller, you'd probably be able to even get better loops, because he would land faster with like Nair fast fall, like Nair hit fast fall. Yeah, no, Sora's Nair is it's so good. I mean, it's like paramount to his kit, right? It's so good. Pichu's Nair is amazing. It's -4. Why did I think it was -2? His ears are invincible for part of it. It's a tech chase. It's a quick out of shield option. It actually doesn't really hit on both sides. It kind of does, but it's such a good move to the point that a lot of Pika players don't play Pika because they prefer this type of Nair, which is kind of what Pikachu had in Smash 4. Granted, they're wrong. Yeah, Pichu's Nair is insane. Puff's Nair is also an amazing tier. It's a lingering move that edge guards for kind of free. It's one of the single best edge guarding moves in the game. Granted, you're Puff, you're floaty with multiple jumps, but I feel like this type of Nair, the interesting thing, like a lot of the hold Nairs or the long Nairs, like Foxes and Lynx and Mii Brawlers and all that type of stuff, get weaker as they go. And while that is true for Puff, because Puff's initial Nair is very strong and then it's like not that strong later, it still sends at a good angle and it's still pretty strong to the point where it still continues to set up edge guards for most characters. If you were to do like drop down Nair as most characters, then grab the ledge, you're going to have an effective edge guarding tool. It's really good. It's not one of the best of these type of Nairs in terms of lingering Nairs because there are so many other good ones that are more useful in other situations, but it's really good. It's frame 6 and it's not quite as safe as some of the other ones, so we'll get to the safer ones later. But yeah, it's still a really, really good move. It's just not like broken. And again, there's gonna be like 25 to 30 Nairs in this tier because Nair is generally a character defining move. Game & Watch Nair, let's hear it. Yo, Game & Watch's Nair is the best Nair I've talked about. The only problem with his Nair is the fact that it doesn't have a landing hitbox, but also, that's fine. It is one of the best anti-airs in the game. It's fast, frame 7, but it's also -5/-4. It has a constant hitbox above him that's just entirely disjointed. Like this is just disjoint. It's just free disjoint. Like it doesn't have this hitbox all the time, which means that it is slightly susceptible to people staying on the ground, but then if they aim for this hitbox, that's safe. It's huge. Look at how big this move is. For no reason. It combos into itself, and it would as most characters. It combos into up airs. It combos into stronger kill moves if you want. You can also do drag down Nair 2 and 3 into ground moves. You can do on Game & Watch. You can do Nair down tilt. And down tilt is a 6-frame move, so against a lot of characters you'll be able to get Nair tilt or Nair jab. So like Roy would be able to have 1-2 Nair back air, and then it would be a better combo tool. This move is insane. And especially in a vacuum, because the reason that Lynx is super good, shout out to the person in chat, is because Lynx's stats are fucked up. So like his fall speed makes it amazing. If you are a fast faller with this Nair and you can just constantly be mixing up when you're gonna land and when you're not gonna land that Game & Watch doesn't really have access to, this move becomes broken. The only negative is fast characters can whiff punish it. But again, that's because Game & Watch's stats aren't great. If you were a fast character or had high airspeed, you would just go Nair. Like that would cover so much space. It would be so stupid. It would be insane. The move's broken. It's so good. Ike Snare used to be a clear, super easy top 5 Nair in the game. Then it got nerfed. It's still a meta-defining move. It combos into like everything. At low percents, it doesn't matter which hit you get, it combos into up air and forward air and more Nairs or back airs. Nair into his up B works. Nair into a lot of characters, aerials would work constantly. High percents though, you actually have to be pretty specific with it because strong Nair doesn't combo into stuff. So you need to be ready to get the later hitbox, and if you do the later hitbox, instead of using your frame 10 Nair, which is still pretty slow, you're hitting with frame 15 or slower, which means that the person kind of knows you're gonna Nair, so they're just waiting for you to just twitch your animation, and they can parry a frame 15 Nair, especially if you're trying to hit the later hitboxes. It's frame 17 or 18. It is -5, which is pretty safe, but again, that's if you're doing it perfectly, and if you're doing these delay Nairs, you're probably not doing them perfectly because you're trying to hit the top of someone's shield. Otherwise, you're gonna hit the strong Nair, which means it's going to be more like -7, -8, -9, which isn't as good. It still is very good, don't get me wrong, but it's not as good as it could be. It's not as good as it was. We got Plant. We got a lot of character requests. Shoutouts to the Twitch being active. Again, if you want to watch this live on Twitch, I do these every Tuesday, most Tuesdays, so you can just scroll down and go to my Twitch right now. And also, again, while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment saying that I'm bald and that Link Snare is actually the best Nair in the game and that I'm stupid. So yeah, we are doing Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant's Nair is disgustingly mid. It's very okay. It's a Byleth Mithra Ivysaur-esque Nair without being those moves. It's just a worse version of them. It always sends forward, which is pretty good, but again, not super fast in -8. It's very unsafe. It's just not as good as you want it to be. It's one of the worst multi-hit Nairs. The animation lasts 5 ever. That's longer than 4 ever, by the way. Plant's a fast faller, and I don't think he can do short hop Nair and then make it as safe as -13 unless he waits. It's very meh. I still use it when I play Plant, because again, these are still good Nairs, but they're just way more niche or not as good as plenty of other counterparts. Shulks Nair is top 10. I think. It's broken. It is a little slow, frame 13, but look at this. It's -2. And the thing is, because it's so slow, you can actually space it to be this -2 very, very easily. It combos into itself, it combos into grab. Even if you parry it, it's only -5, -6, which is pretty good. And it has so little landing lag that you can actually start your Nair and then like land early to then grab or spot dodge or something because people are expecting it to hit. It's really good. I mean, it also just is good when people are in the air. I mean, Shulk has forward air, so he doesn't need to do that all the time. Nair is just, it's such a good move. It is an incredible move. You can spam it all the time. Like, this is the main move you're gonna use in neutral as Shulk. And most characters would want to use this move in neutral all the time because it's so good. It's incredible. Bowser. Bowser's Nair is pretty good. It's nothing special. Obviously, on Bowser, you do get Bear, or Nair Bear. It does a ton of damage if you hit the whole thing. But again, it's not safe on shield. The hitbox is kind of awkward. It's frame 8, which isn't super fast, so it's not a good out of shield option. You're just hoping that people kind of run into this or aren't ready for you to do a landing move because Bowser has command grab. It works on Bowser because he has a command grab, but if you don't have a command grab, this is just a very mediocre landing aerial and an aerial that's hard to combo into because it's slow. If you can combo into it, it does a ton of damage. Like up throw Nair for Bowser does like 40% because Nair randomly does like 29, which is insane. But it's good. It's pretty good. Like, I think it's probably the worse than these two. It's a good combo move, but again, it's so slow and so unsafe to the point where it's not. You can't really just throw it out. I think Shulks Nair is pretty good or amazing. It's probably like the bottom of amazing. As is with Sheik, it's fast and pretty safe. -3, frame 3. I think this is a little better on Sheik's kit than other characters because it's kind of like a worse Puff Nair because it's a little weaker than hers. Granted, it's safer than Puff's, but like Sheik can get a lot because you can Nair Bouncing Fish. Like Sheik specifically gets Nair Bouncing Fish. Most characters can't combo off of this Nair, and it's not super good for edge guarding. It does linger for a long time, which is very good. It's good for edge trapping. It also auto cancels, which is crazy that it auto cancels the frame after it's out. I mean, it's still good. It's still solid. It's like a landing combo move. You can combo weak ones at low percents into like tilts and grabs and stuff like that. So still very useful. I just think it's not as good as people think it is because again, we're talking in a vacuum and not just on the character. And Sora's Nair is, it's okay. It's the body splash for those of you that don't know, but it's frame 5. It's not super safe, but it's safer than like Bowser's. It does damage. It's a kill move. It's good out of shield. It can linger and do like Nair drop off fair against a lot of characters at the ledge. There's nothing like bad about it necessarily. It's just not as good as other Nairs. Steve's Nair. We're gonna do Alex this time. Steve's Nair is good. It's literally Steve's worst move, probably. You rarely want to do Nair in the air. because if you're doing like an add a shield option, you want to use Sword Fair and Sword Bear. You basically never want to use Nair on this character because you want to use the other moves. It's not even that good of a combo move in the air because, granted, this is made just because Steve's air mobility is shit, so you don't really get the ability to combo as well. And I don't think a lot of characters would either, unless they have really high airspeed and they're just going like Nair, Nair, jump, Nair, Nair, which would be really funny, but it would also do like 12. It doesn't do that much percent. It's a decent out of shield option because it's frame 4, question mark. It doesn't really do anything. It's good, again, it's good on Steve's kit specifically, but also not because it's still Steve's worst move on Steve's kit. I think on other characters it wouldn't work well at all. Pac-Man's Nair is an amazing tier. It is probably the best out of shield Nair in the game. It is frame 3, I'm pretty sure, making it tied for the fastest Nair, ignoring Little Max, and it's also huge. It's annoyingly safe, and it has these like gyrations of the move, which means that it's really hard to hit where Pac-Man is because sometimes they just like jostle out of the way. Sometimes you can't hit them, sometimes they hit you when you're not expecting them because they move out of the way and then fucking not counter hit you, but whiff punish you when you tried to hit him. It's really annoying to deal with. It's really good. It's safe. You can do short hop Nair, like delayed. You can do add a shield Nairs. You can air to air with it a decent amount. Like it's a really good move. Like there are many better Nairs still, but it's a really amazing move. It's the best out of shield Nair in the game. Ganondorf's Nair, that shit's bussin'. No, it's good. The thing is, it is a little slow. It's frame 7. It's not the fastest Nair. It's pretty safe. It's -7, -5, -6. And it's strong. This move is so strong. It's huge. It's one of the best edgeguarding Nairs in the game. If not the best edgeguarding Nair in the game. It might be the best edgeguarding Nair in the game, now that I think about it. No, that's still Puffs. But like, it's up there. It's like equal. You can parry it, but it's really hard to do that. Or at least until we start like really looking out for it. But yeah, it's a really good Nair. So Mega Man, we're doing lemons, but specifically not at a jab. So the reason that Mega Man's Nair is pretty good is because it has the hitbox on it, so it's good to get people away from you. I'm pretty sure you can use that part as an add a shield option. I could be wrong. It's frame 7. That's not super fast. Like, lemons are kind of unique, so it's hard to place them because also, again, it's jab and F tilt and that type of stuff, which makes it a little difficult to talk about. But because I talked about jab and F tilt are a bit more interchangeable, but Nair is specifically in the air. But I still think it's a really good move. Not one of the best Nairs in the game, but it's also, again, lemons are really awkward. If you want to put it up here, I totally understand. I understand your perspective. But also, most characters would want this type of Nair because you get to, I'm gonna put it up here. You want to be able to Nair, you want to be able to like zone like that, even if it's starting only in the air. Like, that's crazy. Kirby's Nair is low-key pretty damn good. It's not an amazing tier, but it's in pretty good tier. It's a kill move. It's like not super fast, but it is surprisingly strong. This move kills. It's -2, -3, which is very good. It lingers for a long time, obviously, which makes it useful for that. And it's really strong. Plus, the landing hitbox pancakes the hell out of him. So yeah, I think Kirby's Nair is like pretty solid. It's kind of just a worse version of Piranha Nair, except it's safer. Fox Nair. Fox Nair is really good. I think it is either the bottom of top 10 or the top of amazing. So for now, I'm gonna put it in amazing because I have to think more of who I think the top 10 Nairs are. Pretty safe. It's kind of like Link's, except I think Link's is a little better. The reason why Fox is able to get so much off of his Nair is because Fox's stats are incredible. It's frame 4, it's -3, -4, which is 1 frame less safe than Link's. Fox's stats are so good to the point where he gets tech chases and he gets everything, which is why I don't know if it's as good as Link's Nair in a vacuum, because like Link's Nair is bigger, Link's Nair is safer. Both of them kind of have the same hitboxes with it. Like, I'm pretty sure if Fox had Link Nair, he would still be able to up smash and stuff like that. So it's really good. I just think it's a slightly worse version of Link's Nair, and both of these are a slightly worse version of a different Nair, which I'll be getting into later. Diddy's Nair is broken. In my opinion, it's around equal to Rose's Nair. It's probably better than Rose's Nair because its hitboxes are all there at once. It's really stupid. It's like -5. It's big. It's a little slow, but it is huge, and it combos into literally everything. It combos into, at low percents, it combos into itself. It combos into up airs, it combos into forward airs. It's literally just a better Ike Nair, except Ike has Ike up air, and it's like not a sword. You can combo off of Rising Nair, exactly. Again, that's a Diddy stat specific type of thing because like Diddy's other aerials are very good, but it would combo into most aerials in the game. I don't think it's top 10. It might be, but it's incredible. It's actually so stupidly good. Let's go over Pokemon Trainer because someone said Ivysaur, and I'll do all 3, but first I'll do Ivysaur. Ivysaur's Nair is pretty good. In my opinion, is one of the most overrated moves in the game. I think it's actually pretty easy to deal with because of how SDI-able it is. There are so many hits on this move, and it doesn't always send in one direction. You basically get to SDI whatever side you want to get hit on. So if they're trying to Nair you into up B you off stage, you can just SDI in, and it won't work. Same for like, oh, you got hit and they're trying to hit you off stage in general because they're out of shielding with it. Cool, SDI towards the stage. and you're fine. It has 16 frames of landing lag, which isn't good. You cannot do drag down stuff at all. It's not safe on shield. It's not that fast. It's like a fake good at a shield option because it's frame 10. That's like the same frame as some shield grabs. So I think it's very, very overrated. Ivysaur needs it in their kit, but I think that most characters wouldn't want this move. There are so many better multi-hit moves, like so many better multi-hit moves. Squirtle Snare. Squirtle Snare is low-key better than Ivysaur Nair, but I'm gonna put it right below it because like Squirtle Snare is low-key kind of nah, fuck this, I'm putting it higher. This is gonna be the hottest take of the tier list. Squirtle Snare is really good. It is small, but it's frame 4. It's pretty safe on shield -4, -5. It lingers for a long time, so you can use it to edge trap. It's a good out of shield option. It beats projectiles because the hitbox is bigger than his hurt boxes, so you can just use it to beat most projectiles. It's a move you have to respect. Isn't Squirtle Nair better Kirby Nair? The thing about Kirby Nair is Kirby's Nair kills, but I still think it's better overall because of the speed. Because frame 4 is crazy. That's an out of shield option. That's a real out of shield option. You know, frame 7, super good. Because there are so many moves that fall into the -7, -8, -9 category. And then Charizard's Nair is also in pretty good tier. It's probably better than Bowser's, but it's otherwise kind of okay. It doesn't really kill. It does set up into tech chases, which is good, but they're not like the best tech chases anyway. It's frame 8, so again, it's not super fast, but it's pretty safe at -6, -5. Is it better than Ivysaur's? Maybe. Palutena's Nair, whenever I find her, is top 10. It's an incredible move. The second best combo Nair in the game under Game & Watches in terms of how long the combos are. It's frame 5, so it's pretty good for out of shield. You can do landing Nair into combos, into mix-ups, but it's like one of those character-defining Nairs, right? Like you think Palutena, you literally think Nair, back air, dash attack. It's such a good combo move. It combos into itself. It combos into literally like every aerial in the game, unless it's super slow. Basically anything other than the crazy slow aerials, it combos into. Almost any character would want this Nair. I'm gonna skip ahead. In my opinion, there is one Nair that is better than that, which is Pit's. I think Pit's Nair is f***ing insane. The thing about it is Palu's Nair can't auto-cancel her Nair. The auto-cancel window is 40. That's 10 frames after this final hit, which means that even the auto-cancel would be -8. Pit's auto-cancel is easy for most characters to do, fast fallers or not, and with the auto-cancel, it becomes -6. It is literally better. So like this -12, -11 is fake because the auto cancel is only 5 frames after the final hit, which means it has 2 frames of shield stun, or 3 if it's the final hit. So then it becomes 28, which means you have the 2 frames plus your 4 frames of hard landing, which means it's -6. Yeah, this move is insane. It is a little smaller, which isn't super good, but again, it's frame 4, so it's an out of shield option, which is crazy. However, I kind of baited you. Palu's Nair is still better. Pit's Nair is better specifically because of its safety. However, Palu's Nair, you get so much more off of it because Pit Nair, you can't really combo in itself. You get Pit Nair, dash attack, Pit Nair, forward air. Most characters won't be able to combo off of Pit's Nair, whereas every character would be able to combo off of Palu's Nair at low percent because it's just better that way. However, Pit's Nair is better for edge guarding because it sends at a lower angle, so it's really, 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 really good for edge guarding. And also you can drag down it because Palu's Nair has a little bit too much lag, whereas Pit's doesn't for some reason. Like, I think they both have an equal amount of lag, but Pit's drag down combos are better, whereas Palutena's, it's more like trying to get landing hitbox, like, not landing hitboxes, but Nair landing, like Nair 1 into something. Like, technically Palus has less landing lag frames, but for some reason Pit's Nair just has way more hit stun. So you can get Nair into down tilt, Nair into grab, stuff like that. If you want to put Pit's higher than Palu's, that's fine. I think Pit's Nair is incredible. Let's just go into some Linger Nairs. They're basically all going to be amazing. Mario's Nair is amazing. It's -2, -3. The Lingering Nair isn't super good at lower percents, which is a knock on it. It's only like you need strong Nair at low percents and weak Nair at higher percents, but it's still really good. And you can just throw it out, just boop, and it lingers and it's really good. I think Luigi's Nair is better than Mario's Nair because Nair is a combo move. It's a better out of shield option because of that. It sets him into tech chases. Landing Nair is so important for Luigi specifically, obviously because Luigi gets like Nair up B and Nair down B and stuff like that, but it's still incredible because it's a combo break. Most characters will be able to do Nair up air, Nair up B, Nair back air, Nair whatever. And like Luigi gets that too. Like that's just very, very good on characters like that. Villager's Nair is a lingering Nair. I think it's amazing. It's not quite as good as the other Nairs. It's like a worse version of Pichu Nair, IMO. But it's frame 3, like the other ones. It's -4, -5 instead of -2, -3. It's really good for edge guarding. You can just leave it out there. It's an incredible move. Day-to-Day's Nair. Day-to-Day's Nair is actually in pretty good. It's a move that you can get landing weak Nair and combo it. The problem is the others are pretty fast. Day-to-Day's is not very fast. It's frame 7. Granted, it's pretty safe, but the hitbox is not as big as him. Not even close, considering Day-to-Day's really, really big. The beginning is, but Day-to-Day's Nair is, it's solid. It's a good move. It's just not as good as these. Ken and Ryu's Nair. They're low-key top 10, but I'm not gonna put them there because I already know who I'm gonna put in the top 10. These Nairs are f***ed up. They're actually super insane. They linger 6 ever, not gonna lie. That's longer than 5 ever, which is longer than 4 ever. It's frame 6, which is not super fast. I think Ryu's is also that slow. But look at this, it's -2 and -1. It lingers for so long, the hitbox is actually obnoxious to deal with. His is frame 4, so it's even faster, but it's just smaller. Really, really, absolutely broken. Most characters, if they do this Nair, would get Nair dash attack, Nair grab, Nair, like everything Ryu does, except then Ryu and Ken get like their combos and stuff. But most characters will be able to get Nair combo starter. At Hypersense, it can jab lock, it can set up for tech chases, I'm pretty sure. For strong Nair, weak Nair, just like always combos. And like if you have like a kill throw, Nair kill throw, like all the time. Sonic's Nair is, in my opinion, around equivalent with Pac-Man's Nair. Like, they're different in terms of use, but they're useful. They're both just as useful because Nair is a little slower. It's frame 6, which means it's going to be a way worse out of shield option. But again, kind of like what I said with Pac-Man, it's annoying to hit. He jostles around a lot, so his hurtbox shifts an obnoxious amount. And also, this move just combos. Weak Nair combos into literally everything. And it's only -6, -7, which is like, again, not super, super, super safe, but it's still really safe. It's incredible. It's so good. It's obnoxious. Sephiroth's Nair. Sephiroth's Nair is pretty good. I don't think it's as incredible as, you know, a lot of people thought it was, but it's frame 9. It's decently safe. It's a good combo tool. However, it's not really a good get off me tool. It's literally only good as a combo tool, but again, there are much better combo Nairs, but it is still pretty solid. It's not fast for out of shield, so it gets a knockoff of that. You're not really gonna combo it when you're in the air. I mean, I guess you can at low percents with like Nair Fair, but it's mostly going to be used as a landing hitbox. Up throw Nair on Sephiroth. I'm sure other characters would be able to do like throw into Nair into aerial, like full hop Nair aerial. But again, Sephiroth gets the ability to do that because he has giant fucking aerials. Not as good as I think other people think it is. Cloud's Nair is in pretty good tier. It's a sword, it's -5, and it's frame 5. However, the frame 5, of course, is behind it, and because it's frame 5, you're gonna get way higher in the air, so it's not that good of an out of shield option. It's also not super big. It like barely covers his body, but it is still useful as like an air-to-air because it's a sword, and it sends at a really awkward angle. You can edge guard with it, you can set up into platform tech chases with it. Smash 4 would be the top. Yeah, Smash 4 Cloud Nair was up. I didn't realize it was -5. That's kind of crazy. Granted, it's like small, so good luck getting that hitbox. Pretty solid. It's just not like one of the best Nairs in the game, but it's really solid. Mr. Bogart, Terry's Nair. I think it's also somewhere up here. Terry's Nair is frame 4 -4, which again is very safe. It's not quite as safe as the Shoto's, but it's still really good. I think it generally, like as a rising combo move, it's better than the Shoto's Nair because I don't think the Shoto Nairs always combo into itself. Sometimes they send a little too far. Whereas Terry's Nair combos into like, it's like Nair into double jump, Nair into, he cancels it into specials. But I feel like a lot of characters will still be able to go like Nair Bear, Nair down air, Nair whatever, even in the air. Like I'd be able to go like Nair forward air, Nair up air if you have like a up air that hits here, like Corrin's up air. You'd be able to go just like full hop Nair up air. Terry's Nair is really good. I don't think it's quite as good as these because these are way better landing. I think Terry's is just a little worse. Speaking of Corrin, I mentioned Corrin. Corrin's Nair is incredible. It's like up here somewhere. It's a combo move. It's not the best out of shield option. I think it's frame 7, which means that it's a frame 10 out of shield. And I did roast other moves for that before. I know it's frame 6, so it's a 9 frame out of shield option. -7's pretty good, and it is just one of the best comboing Nairs in the game. Kind of what Falcon's is, except it's a sword. Except it's worse when rising. But like landing Nair is actually incredible. Better Ike Nair? I think it's better Ike Nair, exactly. Dr. Mario's Nair is ass. It is different than all the other lingering Nairs because it's weak at the beginning and strong later. You don't want it to be strong later. You want to have a really quick burst option. That's good. There's a reason why every other Nair is designed like that. It becomes -3 on the strong hitbox, but that doesn't mean it's good. It's really weak. I don't know what percent the beginning Nair actually combos into stuff. It's probably like, I don't know, 50, 60? It's not good because of that. In my opinion, like, I don't like that. I think it's objectively worse than every other Nair like this. Banjo's Nair. Banjo's Nair is a slightly better version of Piranha Plant's Nair, but still not good. You technically can do drag down Nair stuff, but it is very, very inconsistent as to which side it is going to land on. I think it always sends forward. It's not good. This move sucks. It's like useful, but it's also like a little slow. It's not very safe. Like -14, 13, why do they do this? Let's go with someone like Samus's Nair. Samus's Nair, in my opinion, is kind of broken. It is a double hit. You can actually get both hits to hit shield, which means you can get guaranteed shield pokes and guaranteed just a ton of shield damage. It's -5. It's not the fastest move, but this move is strong. It is one of the strongest Nairs in the game for absolutely no reason. And it also sends at a completely horizontal angle, which means that a lot of Nairs you can like live by DIing up into the corner, DIing up and in. You can't with Samus. This move just kills you at 100 at the ledge. It's just a really good mix-up. It's a really good landing mix-up for most characters. It would be for most characters. Again, it's really strong, so if you have something that combos into that Nair, like a good down air or a good whatever, Samus Nair just goes bah, and then it just puts you into a really bad position that most characters can't deal with. Lucario's Nair. Lucario's Nair is amazing. Lucario sucks. I don't think that character's good. However, look at the frame data of this move. It can be even. The worst version of this move with no aura, and its multi-hit is -2. It's like the safest Nair in the game by a lot. It also auto cancels hella. Landing Nair combos and dash attacks and grabs and down tilts. It's so good. The problem is it's on Lucario and Lucario's rest of kit sucks. This move is crazy. The only knock on it is it's frame 10. Peaches, again, we're talking in a vacuum. This move is a kind of small but strong move that's pretty safe on shield. It's amazing. It's not broken. With float, that move's crazy. That move's insanely good with float, but I'm talking not with float, I'm talking again in a vacuum. But it's really safe. It's also frame 5. It's, in my opinion, a worse version of Ness's because Ness's is, I think, overall less laggy, or, you know, Ness's is at least bigger. It's a more consistent kill move. You can't go under it because Ness's move is like big on both sides, whereas Peach's is like big down and then high behind her because of how her body contorts. So like, if you're behind her, like this hitbox is way lower, and if you're not directly on top of her, you might miss, whereas Ness's is huge, so you're not gonna miss. Snake Snare is pretty good. I think it's like a slightly better version of Bowser's Snare, mostly because the hitboxes are all in front of him, and it makes more sense as a move. It's a kill move. You can actually do landing Nair 1 into moves, so it's useful as a combo tool like that. It does a ton of percent. You know, some characters would be able to combo into it. Snake kind of can't unless it's with grenades specifically. It's also pretty big. It's decent for edge guarding. It's very, very, very strong. Let's go with the Belmonts. The Belmonts Nair is also pretty good. It's surprisingly small. However, you can, I'm pretty sure, maybe it's fake, I'm not sure. I spot dodged it when I was playing Dom, but I don't know if that's because he was too slow. But like, it's a move, it can combo into, it's a multi-hit that's the size of him. It's just like a way worse version of Pit Snare. I don't know if the drag gun is real. I literally don't know if it combos, because I don't know if people just don't know to spot dodge. It's good to get someone off of them, and you know, the final hit's big, and I don't really know how good this move is. If you're getting into a Belmont, then like you won already. But is it not, I think it's good. Greninja Nair. Greninja Nair is incredible. It's super good. It is a little slow, but it's also pretty safe. It's -3, -4 again. My frame 12 means that you might be able to react and parry it, considering, I don't know, if the character has this move, then like you know they're gonna look out for it. But it's a really good combo move. You get Nair into grab, you get Nair into dash attack, you can get Nair into like all your aerials. Weak Nair also combos for like ever. So yeah, it's really, really useful. This move is actually so good. It's just like really laggy, so you can't really use it as an air to air, or you can't really use it off stage, which are knocks on it, but it's still a very good Nair. DK's Nair is pretty good. In my opinion, it's like a better version of Charizard's Nair. Like if you're gonna hit it, it's good if you're landing. It's not super fast and it's not super big, but at the same time, it does combo, it does pratfall. It's -6, which is pretty good considering Charizard's is like -12 or some shit. Also, it technically is safer than that. It can be if you get the last frame, it can be -1, but even normally it's -6, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, DK's is good. K. Rool's Nair, in my opinion, is an amazing move because of the armor. So it's a move that you can mash out a hit stun with armor. Weak Nair combos into grab. Strong Nair, low percent combos into grab. You get tech chases off of it. It's a great edge guarding tool because of the armor, so you can just tank moves and then hit them with Nair. It's also pretty safe. -4, -5 is pretty damn safe to me. So it ends up just becoming a slightly worse version of the falling Nair type, because again, if you're gonna hit the top of someone's shield, it's gonna more so be -7 or -8, so if they have good out of shield options, like I know in the Pika matchup, I can just Nair him every time he Nairs me with my shield. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Mii Gunner's Nair is good. It's the same thing as Mii Sword Fighters, so it's less safe than Mii Sword Fighters. It sends at maybe arguably a better angle because it sends like horizontally, but it's frame 8, which isn't super good. I basically only see Mii Gunners use this move when they're like facing away from someone and kind of just want to hitbox as they're landing because they're scared, but then they can just back air. So I don't know. I feel like many back airs and Nairs and up airs kind of do the job better than this move. So I don't really know when a character would want to use this Nair over a bunch of different moves in this game. So yeah, it's okay. Duck Hunt's move is in pretty good. The lowest end of it though. It's fast, so it's a decent out of shield option. I think it's frame 5. So it's not that good of an out of shield option, unfortunately, but you can linger it. The lingering hit can combo into like grabs and dash attacks and stuff like that. But it's a little small, unfortunately, as you can see. Granted, you're not really gonna be hitting him through it unless you have a big disjoint. I mean, it's strong, it's a kill move. You can technically use it off stage if you want. Maybe it's better than Bowser's, but I don't think it's that good. We have a couple of really good Nairs that we haven't got over yet. So let's go over Pika's. Pikachu's is not top 10. It might be if you put them on characters that can Nair loop. It's probably the best of this tier. It's probably number 11. Maybe it's number 10 and I'll put Rob's at number 11, but I think Pika's Nair is amazing. It is a universal kill confirm because it's a drag down. Drag downs are good for literally every character. It's good out of shield because it's frame 3. You can't really combo off of it super hard as most characters, but it's still really good. It's pretty safe. It pancakes him. And again, I'm assuming if you're using this move, you're pancaking, right, with it. Because I can just like transform into this character like Double from Skullgirls. It's -7, which is pretty good. So it's relatively safe. Again, you can combo into grabs. You can combo into smash attacks that are faster than frame 11. This move is really good. It's incredible. It's not top 10 in my opinion, but it's incredible. Young Link's, also incredible. It's somewhere in this upper echelon. It's fast, it's strong, it's safe. It's just a good Linger Nair. It's not one of the best Linger Nairs, but it's still a really good Linger Nair. Toon Link's Nair is pretty good. It is not a Linger Nair, and because of that, it is way, way, way worse. You can get landing Nair into moves, which is pretty good. It's still pretty fast. I think it's frame 6. And it's a sword move, so that's like pretty fast. Also pretty safe. It's just not as good as the lingering like foot Nairs because it's just, you have to be more precise with it. And precision, why be precise when you can just not be precise? So yeah, it's really good, but it's not like as good as a lot of other moves. Min's Nair, I'm just gonna be considering it Dragon Nair. It's pretty good. I don't think it's an amazing anymore. I think the nerfs really hurt it. Dragon Nair is -8 now, which isn't very safe because it used to be -4, -5, -6, and now it's -7, -8, -9, and -8 isn't good enough for the combos that you get. I mean, yeah, you get like Nair grabs and Nair down tilts, and most characters would, and then you get, of course, can have buff Dragon, but it's just not as good as it used to be. It used to be broken, and now it's okay. Like now it's like pretty good, like still a good Nair. Like all these Nairs are good, it's just not as good as these Nairs. Bayo's Nair. It's actually very similar to a character right next to him, which is Bowser Jr.'s Nair. I think they're both very okay. I think Bowser Jr.'s is actually maybe better because Bowser Jr.'s Nair I think is faster than Bayo's. Because Bayo's Nair is frame 9, Bowser Jr.'s is frame 7. It's also safer. You do have bullet arts with Bayo's, but bullet arts kind of suck in this game. Bayo can combo off of hers, but that's because specifically she has side B, whereas I don't think many characters would be able to combo off of her Nair. Like most of them wouldn't be able to, whereas Bowser Jr.'s at least like puts into tech chases at lower percent, so you can get like jab blocks and stuff like that, or random tech chases. Bayo's is okay. Oh, I haven't gone over any of these yet. Let's go over the general Swordy Nair. So we have Marth, Lucina, Roy, Chrom. The thing is, Roy and Chrom's are broken. They have a ton of shields done, so you can do landing Nairs into hitboxes. I think Chrom's is a little better than Roy's. The Nair just has so much more hits done, and it's more generally good. Whereas Roy's is like better at certain times, but generally Chrom's is gonna be better. They're good for landing, they're good for everything. And also their Nair 1s are very good. The thing about Marth and Lucina, they're pretty good. It's pretty easy, it seems like, to get Marth's Nair tipper in this game, because I think that's like generally how the move tries to work, is they try to get it to hit the tipper, which means that Marth's Nair is actually better than Lucina Nair, because you get a lot of tippers with this move, and it is so strong when you get the tipper. It's still not an amazing, because it's not a combo move, so you're literally only using it to kill. Lucina's is the same thing. Again, as characters, they have better moves, but either way, like, you would still want a sword move that's like frame 7 or something like that, probably. I don't think they get as much off of like single hits as well. It's frame 6, okay, but it's like still pretty safe too. It's like -6, -5, that's good. And you can get like Nair up tilt, sure, but like, I don't know. I don't think it's as useful as Roy and Chrom's basically, but it's still really good. Hero's Nair is just bad Ike Nair. It's -6, so it's not as safe. It doesn't combo nearly as well. The knockback sends way more out, so you get at low percents Nair forward air, but you don't really get combos at high percents because it's just not as good. Like it just sends at a worse angle. Wolf's is a very, very good Nair. It's not, in my opinion, the best of the Linger Nairs. I know a lot of people think it is, but it's a little less safe than theirs. -4, -5 as opposed to a lot of them which are -2, -3, and it is not fast, so it's not that good of an out of shield option. However, it is really good for combos. Nair F tilt combos, strong Nair combos into dash attack, and would combo into most characters' dash attacks. It's very, very useful for many, many, many characters, but I do think it's a bit overrated, especially considering if you're hitting the top of someone's shield, that becomes frame 7, like -7, -8, which means that a lot of characters can combo or like punish it. And if you land in front of someone, you can shield grab if you have a frame 6 grab. It's great if you hit it, but it's not as good as a lot of other Nairs. Meta Knight's Nair is amazing. This move is so good. It's actually very safe. It's -3, I think, or -4. Yeah, it's very, very safe. It's super strong. It's great for edge guarding because, as I kind of mentioned with Puffs, the lingering hitbox of this move still sends pretty far away, so it actually just continues to sets up for edge guards. It's not as fast as a lot of other Nairs, which is the one thing keeping it. If it was frame 4 or something, this move would be like absolutely broken, but it's still really good. Lucas's Nair. I think Lucas's Nair is in pretty good. I don't exactly understand how the drag down works. I don't know how consistent it is. It seems good, but at the same time, I feel like it's just not as good as other Nairs. I'm gonna drop Peaches down here, by the way. And it's also not terribly safe. So again, if you are a character that that didn't have the crazy swoopity-doopity of Lucas's air mobility where you don't know what side he's gonna land on. But suddenly -10, -9 doesn't look as appealing, whereas a lot of other characters have like -4, -5, -2, -3 Nairs. You do get a lot off of his Nair. Like, you get Nair, if you get the final hit, you would get forward airs and up airs and a bunch of stuff for a bunch of characters. It is just less safe and neutral, so I don't want to give it that much credit, even if you do also get drag downs. But again, Lucas's air mobility is what makes it broken on Lucas, but off of Lucas, when you don't have that ambiguity, it's going to be less good. Kazuya's Nair is amazing. It's a spike. Don't know why they made it a spike. It's literally, if you hit someone off stage and you hit this Nair, they die at like 30, which is stupid because you just do multiple Nairs. It's also frame 8, which isn't super fast, but it's also -3, -4 for an air like this. That also combos into his electric and stuff like that, but again, all the characters would have like Nair into jab, Nair into forward tilt, Nair into grab. He has 0 to deaths, but a lot of characters would still have that type of thing, kind of like what Pikachu has with drag downs, except a worse Nair overall, but still very good, still incredible. So safe, so good. Ridley's Nair, in my opinion, Ridley Nair is the bottom of amazing tier. I think it is such a good Nair. It is huge, it covers his whole body. It's not that safe, unfortunately, but it is pretty disjointed. Decent landing move, not because of its safety, but like if you hit it, you have to stay on the ground against this move because it's huge and it's pretty fast. So yeah, it's a very solid Nair. It's not as good as some other Nairs, but it's a very solid Nair. Robin's Nair, so I'm going to put male Robin as bronze and female Robin's is Levin Sword. Bronze Sword Nair is okay. It's still like better than these Nairs, probably, because it still sends at a decent angle, but it's just weak. Whereas Levin Sword Nair is like Samus's Nair, except bigger and faster. Levin Sword Nair is actually kind of fucked up. Frame 7, which is decently fast. It's -6, -8, which is a little less safe than Samus's, but it's also better as an air to air because it starts really high. This move's incredible. It's a really good move. Falco Snare. I think Falco Snare is pretty good. You can drag down with this move, but I don't know how consistent it is. I don't understand Falco that well, so I could be wrong. It might be here. It's frame 3? Damn. I didn't realize how fast that was. Okay, so it's frame 3, -7, -6. Yeah, this move's broken. Never mind, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Falcon. Not that good. It's a kill move at high percents. You can chase people off stage with it. You do get drag down, Nair up tilt, Nair grab with a lot of other characters. So yeah, I guess that all is true. And the hitbox is pretty big. Seems pretty consistent. So my bad. I was wrong. Yeah, no, Falco's Nair is really good. And then we have Zelda. Zelda's Nair isn't pretty good. I know they buffed this move a bunch of times, but I still think that it's just an underwhelming Nair comparatively. It's not very big. It is a little safe, and you can get some drag down stuff. It's -9, which is not super great, but again, landing Nair is a move, so you can do drag down stuff with it. The last hit, you're not really gonna combo off of really easily because it's a little too strong, and it's not that good of an out-of-shield option because it's frame 6, so which means it's frame 9, and then because you're higher after you jump, it's not gonna be super good for that, but it's still good. It's not like a broken Nair, but it's a solid Nair. Zero Suit Samus's Nair. Zero Suit Samus's Nair is still amazing. It used to be like the 3rd best Nair in the game, and now it's very, very good. It's -4, which is still crazy. It is frame 10. It does have the reverse hitbox, which is kind of sick, low-key. Combos into like the world. Most characters would want this Nair. It's still, again, it used to be better, which is kind of fucked up, but it's still really, really good. Good Zero Suit Nair. Yoshi's Nair. Yoshi's Nair is very good. It's probably the best out-of-shield option. This is just about as safe, and it is frame 3. I just feel like it's slightly worse than the other ones, and I don't know if that's because of my bias for Yoshi or if it's because the lingering hitbox starts really, really early, but it's an incredible Nair. It's still an incredible Nair. I just don't think it's as good as like the super, super good lingering Nairs. It's probably, you know, this and Young Links are probably about equal. And the last not top 10 Nair, because I put a lot of them earlier, Joker. I think Joker's Nair is really good. It's a combo move, it's -5, it's obviously really good with Arsene, so if you want to factor Arsene into it, sometimes sure, but it is frame 12. The best thing about Joker's Nair, low-key, isn't even the fact that it's -5, it's the fact that it shrinks his hurtbox into this. It's so small. It is so ridiculously small. It's really dumb. It's really, really stupid. I don't know if it's as good as a lot of the other Nairs because a lot of the other Nairs are more useful and faster and like good for out-of-shield and stuff like that. And Joker's isn't. Where Joker's is good is really good. And the last 2 Nairs that are top 10. Rob's, I don't really know the order of this top 10, honestly. But Rob's Nair is amazing. Obviously, it's a combo move. It is a good disadvantage tool because it's so safe. It's -3, -4, or -2 if you're auto-canceling anything perfectly. It's big. It's slow, so you can, in theory, parry it, but no one does. Again, it auto-cancels frame 33, so you have 1 frame difference if you do it perfectly, and then 4 frames of shield stun if you get the strong hit, which means that it's -1, ideally. On Rob, it's even better because you get gyro tosses and stuff, but again, even not on Rob, you still get like Nair up air, Nair forward air, Nair back air, Nair if you want to. So yeah, it's good. And, in my opinion, the best of the lingering Nairs, maybe the best Nair in the game, but I'm still gonna give it to Game & Watch because I think Game & Watch's Nair is broken. Me Brawler. Busted. so good. No reason. This move is so stupid. So the reason that it's so good, right? A lot of the lingering Nairs for these moves send too far away to get a lot of combos. You need to do like Nair dash attack, Nair grab. Me Brawlers literally combos into a frame 20 something smash attack on his kit, right? A lot of characters could do Nair F smash with this Nair. It also auto cancels. It also is really, really safe on shield. It's also frame 3, so it's not a shield option. Every fast faller wants this one over every other Nair because Rising Nair is actually better than other Rising Strong Nairs as well. Part of this is because of his stats, and I know that on the character, it's the best Nair in the game. I think this move is so ridiculously good. It's everything you want in a Nair. You can do the same thing with Link and like all those characters because it's you know, -2, -3. It's good for edge guarding because it's decently strong. Weak Nair combos into literally everything. At low percents it's Strong Nair that actually combos. Weak Nair doesn't actually combo at 0, but at like 20 it starts to combo into every combo starter you would have, whether it's grab or down tilt or up tilt or forward tilt or jab or whatever. There's literally no flaw with this move. It's the best one. It's the best of these Nairs. I still think Game & Watch's Nair is overall better just because it's a way better anti-air, and anti-airs are insane, plus it's as safe as it is and it's disjointed and all that stuff. So Game & Watch is just a little better. Yeah, these are the top 10 Nairs, and then these are all very loosely ordered. This is the list. Tell me what you thought about it. If you enjoyed it, comment, let me know that you enjoyed it, and also subscribe. See you next time.
Pikachu busted.